I call the honourable member Alfred Naro.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Kia ora, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I stand and rise and am proud to take a call on the Housing Accords and Special Housing Areas Bill in its first reading. Mr. Speaker, the intent of this bill is very clear. It's about government and it's about councils. And it's about streamlining a consenting process for new housing developments. That's the intent of this bill. That's the sense. It's a legislation which will apply for 3 years. And the first accord has been signed by Auckland, which should make the Mr. Twyford happy about that, but it doesn't. It doesn't make him happy. Why, Mr. Speaker? Because it's by Mr. Brown himself, who's a member of that party. But, Mr. Speaker, what's really quite clear is what this does for Auckland is that it does this. It ensures that it sets a target of 39,000 homes consented over 3 years, far better than the current arrangement, which is 3,600 homes in each year. Mr. Speaker, we've heard a lot of rhetoric, we've heard a lot of calls about where is the plan. Well, Mr. Speaker, we know that in order for housing development to happen and to focus on 5 key areas, the first area is around land supply. Land supply. So we know about that. But what you don't know, Mr. Street, is this. Because in your place...
I do know.
In your place of Nelson, we're talking about the place of Auckland. So let's take the area of Mr. Twyford, okay? Let's talk about land supply. The talk is that it's unaffordable. Well, let's take this. On here, right over here and now, you can go into Trade Me, into property, and you can purchase a place in VTEX Place, which is in Waitakere, behind the Waitemata Rugby Club, 3-bedroom, 1 bathroom, 265,000. 265. And here's the rhetoric, Mr. Speaker. They take the average in Auckland, which is what? Does anybody know on the other side? Well, let me just tell you, 675,000 is the average, right? That's correct. But the thing is, as first home buyers, you don't buy at the average. You buy at the entry point into a home. Many of us have done that, who've worked hard. Our first home that we bought was not at 675,000. It's probably what it really is right here at 265,000, 3-bedroom in Waitakere. Yes, Mr. Twyford, you'd know about that. So here's really clear. By providing the issue around land supply, you enter in at 400,000. What that does mean others then can then go on and buy maybe a $600,000 home. What does that do? It provides other opportunities for others to enter into the market. That's what it does, Mr. Speaker. But, Mr. Speaker, here's the other thing that's really important. Material costs. So, another question for the other side. What's the average cost of building per square metre in New Zealand at the moment? Do we know? Do we know? No, we don't. Why? But I tell you what, if I went across to the Greens, 49% member, they'd be able to tell us. I know Jan Logie would be able to tell us. She knows, because they've got a housing policy that everyone's listening to at the moment. So the average cost per square metre is $1,700. We know that's unaffordable. We know that's unaffordable. So hence the reason the second part of the plan is to work on the cost of building. The third part of the plan is around infrastructure. The fourth part of the plan is productivity and construction in the sector. Compliance costs is the big issue. We know that's the big issue. So hence the reason why this accord is working. But don't be afraid out there, those who are listening, because this is not about the big government coming along to take over. What it is saying is this: where the council cannot come to an agreement, where the accord is not possible, the government will then come in to ensure that the affordability, the accessibility to homes is there as well. Mr. Speaker, it's not the scaremongering of the other sides. Number one, is it accessible to buy affordable? Yes. At $265,000, you can buy your first home. I know families, I know people who have done that. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, we're reducing material costs. Why? Because at $1,700 per square metre, it's just not affordable. Mr. Speaker, this bill is addressing the key issues around affordability. It is a plan. But we excuse the other side. You've only just received the bill, so you haven't actually read it. Instead, you just keep talking about one issue. This is a great bill. We look forward to the select committee, to having the debate, to sitting down with people who actually know about building and about planning and making a difference for our communities. Mr. Speaker, I commend this bill to the House.
Mr. Speaker.
Just before I call the next speaker, just to inform members it's a split call, and the members speaking will get a 1-minute bell. I call the honourable member Moana Maki.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Well, Alfred Naro found one affordable